Something I'm starting to realise on this journey is that Mounjaro isn't enough on its own. Some people lose huge amounts of weight, others store or put on, as I did recently, but there's always a struggle. And I think the reason is actually really quite simple. Weight loss isn't just one thing, it's more like a jigsaw puzzle. The injection is just one piece of that puzzle, but there are other pieces that matter just as much, like nutrition, movement, mindset, consistency, and the will to keep going when the motivation stops. Miss one of these pieces and progress can start to fall apart. I'm Mantis Midlife and I've lost £70 now on my weight loss journey using Mounjaro in just over 8 months. Now, before the intro, I was holding up a jigsaw piece. And the reason for that is because something I'm starting to realise on this journey isn't just about that injection that you put in your belly, your arm, or your leg every single week. It's actually more like a puzzle. And if just one piece of that puzzle is missing, the whole thing can start to fall apart, as it's done for me recently. So let's talk about the pieces that make this actually work. Puzzle piece number one, and it's going to be the actual medication itself. So in my case, it's the Mounjaro. Now, the Mounjaro helps create the opportunity for weight loss, but it doesn't do everything for you. It does affect your appetite suppression. It does reduce your food noise, and it makes a massive difference when it comes down to portion control. And what it's done for me, and what it's done for many others, is help create a calorie deficit, but do it naturally. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't replace those habits. Unless you've ever suffered from food noise, you probably won't really understand what I'm talking about. But that constant battle with your mind when you're thinking about food, when you're eating breakfast, you're thinking about lunch, when you're eating lunch, you're thinking about dinner, when you're eating dinner, you're thinking about what you can eat before you go to bed. And that one piece of the puzzle changes the whole game for you. Because straight away, with that appetite suppression, you're not thinking about food all the time. Naturally, your portions get smaller. And when your portions get smaller, you eat less calories. When you eat less calories, you lose weight. It's such an important piece of the puzzle. Right, the next piece of the puzzle we're going to talk about is movement. Now, I try to go to the gym. I've not been very consistent lately. If you've watched any of my other videos, I've been awful at going to the gym. But after my little hiccup a few weeks ago, I've had a bit of a reset, a bit of a restart. I am vowing to be more consistent in the gym. Now, for me, that means resistance training, but that doesn't have to mean resistance training or gym work for everyone else. Obviously, if you're able to get to the gym, then yeah, I would 100% recommend it. But we don't have to be talking about intense exercise. We don't have to be talking about circuit training. We don't have to be talking about going out running and all that crazy stuff. Walking is absolutely fine. If you can up your steps, it's going to make a difference. It counts as exercise. So don't be worrying that you can't lift the weights or you can't get on a exercise rowing machine or whatever it is, because every little bit of movement counts. Now, for me, it's been important to try and maintain the muscle. So that's why I've been doing strength training. When you're taking Mounjaro, you're going to lose muscle mass. And I know for a fact I'm a lot weaker than I was previously. But exercise, a huge part of this puzzle. If you can do any movement at all, do it, because it will help you along the way. Right, next part of the puzzle. I'm going to talk about mindset, what goes on in here. And for me, it's been probably one of the hardest parts to get to grips with, because when you hit that plateau, when you hit that store, it's so easy to throw that towel in. Your motivation's dropped and your old habits have creeped back in, and that's exactly where I am at the moment, or I was probably since Christmas. It's been the trickiest, toughest part of this whole journey for me, and I need to get my mindset back on track. I need to really buckle down, give me the kick up the bum that I really need to do the things that I know work and have worked, certainly in the first 7 months of this journey. Mindset really is the piece that keeps everything going when progress slows. It's so easy to beat yourself up if you have a bad day, but don't let that bad day turn into a bad 2 days, and so on and so on. Before you know it, you're saying on a Monday afternoon, I've blown the whole week. And I've been tripped up by that whole way of thinking where I've sort of quit before I've even started. Just do the things that work for you, the things that work for me, and no two journeys are exactly the same. You'll know what you're supposed to be doing just as I know what I'm supposed to be doing. So the next part of the puzzle, it is consistency. Now, we all know, certainly in the UK, and the feeling I'm getting from my comments on the channel is, it is an expensive medication. It's a commitment, and that means you need to take that injection weekly. Once you've committed to taking that injection, you really, if you possibly can, want to make sure you try and create these daily habits. For me, now, I was always an advocate, and I do mention it a lot, that I was an advocate for learning these habits, learning these changes that are going to make a difference when I finally come off the medication. I don't think I've made those changes. I don't think I'm capable of making those changes. Certainly I'm a little bit better, but it's hard. But what I want to do is just try and maintain my consistency, get into that long-term way of thinking that no matter how long it takes, I'm going to reach my goal, and trust the process. There are going to be weeks when you're going to find it tough. There are going to be weeks, as I have done, where I stand on that scale and it's not moved. There are going to be weeks when I stand on that scale and I've lost £2. Those are the wins. You've got to take those wins, but maintain consistency the entirety of your journey in the best possible way. Let the Mounjaro do the Mounjaro things, and ultimately put all these pieces of the puzzle together and you will lose weight. Right, the next part of this imaginary puzzle we're building is going to be nutrition. Protein, absolutely essential when you're taking weight loss medications. Fibre, absolutely essential when you're taking weight loss medications. And I found out the hard way what happens if you don't take enough fibre. And let's just say it's been incredibly uncomfortable to go to the toilet at times. So everything revolves around this nutrition and this part of the puzzle. Your energy levels are going to depend on your nutritional quality. And one of the things that trips up a lot of people is not eating enough. So for me, nutrition is all about counting my calories, tracking my calories, and making sure I eat enough calories. Work out how many calories you're supposed to be eating and try and stick to it in the best possible way. My top tip, and it worked for me up until fairly recent, was I count my calories weekly, and that saves me being restricted day by day. I know I'm allowed X amount of calories a week, and I aim to eat X amount of calories a week. So just make sure, even when your appetite's suppression is really good, make sure you're eating enough. Whilst we're talking about nutrition, just wanted to shout out Lily and Loaf. Now, they've created a daily essentials bundle. Now, that includes a full GLp1 support. The daily fuel is approximately, when made with water, 103 calories and 22 grams of protein. Part of the bundle is also this daily balance, which is full of omegas, and the daily flora, which is gut support. I'm going to leave a link in the description. If you buy the Daily Essentials bundle, they're going to throw in a free 90-day packet of vitamin D. As you know, when you get to my age, is very, very important. Right, let's carry on with the video. Now, for me, the way I've been recently, with the constant stores, with the 3 steps forward and 2 back, it's just been so frustrating. Now, I've been missing one piece of that jigsaw. I don't think it's been the nutrition. I don't think it's been the mindset. I don't think it's been the exercise. And I know it's not been the Mounjaro, because I'm still taking it. The bit I've been missing is the consistency. My feelings on this journey is you only need to miss one of those out, and you're not necessarily going to fail, but you're going to struggle. You're going to find it harder than you should. You're like me, you're spending a lot of money on this medication. You've got to do everything you can within your power to help it. You can't just stick it in you and expect the magic, the miracle to happen. You've got to work at it. You've got to endure the times when it's not working. You've got to do the right thing. You've got to do all those different parts of the jigsaw, because without it, you're going to make it hard work. And that's where I am, or where I've been recently. I've been finding it hard work. My appetite suppression's been good. My food noise has been low. But what the scales have been saying has not been acceptable. And that's why I'm having a bit of a reset, a bit of a fresh start. And that's why this video came about with the jigsaw puzzle, because without it all fitting together nicely, you're going to end up where I've been recently. And it's not been fun. It's been frustrating, and I'm kind of fed up with making negative videos where I'm saying I've not lost any weight or I've put on weight. So we've got a new positivity, a new start, and things are going to be changing up from here on in. Rightio then, so if you've got this far in the video, just want to say thanks to everyone. Your support, as always, for the channel means the absolute world to me. The videos are all about support, they're all about community, they're all about me sharing what I've learned in my journey, and if I can help people along the way, then it makes it all worthwhile, me sat in front of a camera waffling on for days on end. If you're enjoying the video, please like it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. There's plenty more content coming. I release videos every single Wednesday, every single Saturday. If you've got a question for my Saturday Q&A video, leave it in the comments down below. If you want to support the channel, there's many ways you can do. That could be from clicking on my affiliate links. It could be by becoming a member. It could be by buying me a coffee. There's many ways to do so, but there's never any pressure to do so. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I will catch up with you on Saturday.